Alright guys, so a little bit of a sidebar. So we today spent time recording all of the chest and pectoral work for the Muscle Mechanics Mentorship Education course, and Charlie came up with an absolutely brilliant sidebar kind of talking about this idea of the pec major in particular as an internal rotator. Now, the problem with this thing is, and we have this kind of concept in Coach Kassam and the guys at M1, and many others have touched on this topic of avoiding this idea of seeking sensation over an effective stimulus. So let's just talk a bit about what's actually occurring there. So if we get Charlie to start from an abducted position and we get him to adduct in across the body, ultimately all we're trying to do in this position, we're trying to shorten the pec. Right now, the proposed idea is that as we come into this position and we internally rotate the humerus, that we're going to increase the amount of tension here, and we'll explain why that's a bad idea in a second. So we might bring this in, and this might have a function as an internal rotator, but the reality is when we're doing a lot of these movements like cable pec flies, presses, the goal is not to work it in its function as an internal rotator, it's to work it in its function as a shoulder flexor, an adductor, sorry. And so adding internal rotation, if we think about it, doesn't increase the moment arm, it doesn't increase the torque demands occurring at that particular joint and the muscles crossing that joint. All it does is it adds an increased sensation. But that sensation is not inherently lending to an improved stimulus, and therefore is a bit of mental masturbation, as Mr. Kassam would say, and a bit of a waste of our time. So when we're thinking about training the pecs in general, let's just focus on what's the action of the role that we're trying to train, and let's put our intent and effort into doing that.